This is my very unqualified opinion.
Once again, I'm probably competing with Jared DeHaan for the most unqualified opinion.
In my opinion.
And Will is currently dying, but that is my opinion. Any type of opinion or pick.
It's almost like it's a really unqualified one.
This is obviously my unqualified opinion, and you all have your unqualified opinions, but in my opinion, there's a reason why we are unqualified.
Right. That's, they are opinions.
Double whammy.
I mean, obviously these two words don't really work together, but I'd describe them as consistently inconsistent.
It doesn't help that they lost Sam Darnold to mononucleosis, which has got to be the first time that's ever happened to an NFL quarterback. That's what happens when you start drafting teenagers. The Bungles are just disrespectful to the NFL. And then you have the rolling tank that is the Miami Dolphins. I don't think I've ever seen a team set into tank mode so early in a season.
Illinois beat Wisconsin. Illinois is the Jared DeHaan of college football teams. Kevin Love, he's a huge wine guy. He's from the Oregon-Washington area. He's a huge wine guy. He likes to go there all the time. You see it on his Instagram.
Well, that would mean the Pac-12 would probably get in, which is a nightmare in and of itself.
Pac-12 after dark.
It's so that was getting hot in the kitchen.
Bad.
Boo. Get out of here.
Tim's on the hot
all right,
seat.
with the
Bills Mafia.
We will see. So with that, people are saying, oh, it's backup Mac Jones. He's just a sophomore. Only one career start, now 2 career starts. He's a 4-star recruit. I mean, this kid can play.
Vikings
he beat the Cowboys.
They're the Cowboys. Wow. You guys just said Garrett was on the hot seat. So with that being said, let's go with Seattle.
I think they'll have no trouble with the Bears.
I was really on the fence about this one. I was going to pick the Bears, but I am not about to get already locked up the division, but could have had a first-round bye with the win against the measly Miami Dolphins. Just couldn't get it done.
Magic, baby.
It's going to come down to the fact that Giannis is going to get Mac Daddy with it, and when Giannis gets Mac Daddy with it, nobody beats him.
If we have no qualms about that, I assume we're going to have a few more issues with the Eastern Conference starters.
Many qualms, Marco. Many qualms. 69% completion rating. Nice.
All right, Paul. I wonder who you're going to pick.
I will note, Paul is currently wearing a San Francisco 49ers jersey.
And hat.
Just kidding. Paul's actually a diehard Chiefs fan, currently wearing a Chiefs sweatshirt and his patented Nebraska hat.
Well, I tell you what.
Everybody, it's stat time with Paul Hires.
It's just the numbers with Paul Hires.
My bad.
But let's go through the standings again.
Bucks.
The Bucks
because they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, who are
guys.
top
Let's be
5
honest.
receivers
Let's be honest,
Tim.
The Bucks
very
are
cool.
the Bucks. Very cool, Tim.
Very cool, Tim.
All right.
Colts
I think
and Chargers are way better landing, and of course, Owen Farrell, arguably the best fly half in the game,
and brother of Will Ferrell.
Not true. Not true at all. He's a much angrier and much more aggressive-looking man. He smokes a cigar better than any college football prospect I've ever seen, but really
better than his coach.
Better than his coach.
Illinois is a team that I know you guys are going to say, oh, it's just because he's an Illinois fan, but they're dangerous, and they could contest Michigan State for that conference tournament title.
Dangerous both as a basketball team and as a physical threat to their opponents.
Rockets recently lost to the Knicks, and that cannot be ignored, will not be forgotten, and should not be excused.
A just truly abysmal Buffalo franchise. The abysmal performance, 0-9 on Monday Night Football, an abysmal stat for a quarterback. Not only is the defense just completely abysmal, this conference is pretty abysmal.
I mean,
it's abysmal.
The Dolphins, as they've been pretty abysmal for a while.
Against the Cowboys, who have been abysmal.
Yeah. Todd Gurley was abysmal. I mean, the offense has been abysmal. The defense is abysmal. Washington is abysmal right now. These teams are all so abysmal.
For comparison, there's always that one guy in the NFL or the NBA. I'm trying to think of some specific examples who just kind of sticks around longer than you think he should.
Marvin Williams, Cincinnati head coach.
Or Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis, excuse me. Marvin Lewis.
Sticks around longer than you think he should. Marvin Williams for the Hornets, the power forward, there's actually a good example too.
My 1 is Alabama. My 2 is Ohio State. My 3 is Ohio State. Then Clemson.
All right, so that's it for our college football picks. Let's move on to our NFL picks. Yeah, I have to make a pick. Well, it's going to be SMU for a lot of the factors that
isn't.
Paul talked about. I'm going to have to go with the Mustangs on that one. Hey, you might be right.
Marco just seems rushed and confused right now. He wasn't ready for this. He was trying to slip past us here.
I totally forgot to make my pick. But yeah, anyway, so some potential replacements. Let's just throw out some names.
LeBron James. It's the only person that can return the Knicks to where they need to be.
As a coach, Will.
I'm really tired of the Knicks and just all the stupid Knicks stuff they do every year. Come on, New York.
All right, well, with that, let's move on to whether or not the Warriors should tank for the number 1 spot. Will, you have some more thoughts on this?
Please don't get angry at me.
I have to go with Bill, Tom, and the Patriots on this one.
What a surprise.
I didn't know you're on first name basis with them now.
I am.
It's pretty
I am.
cool.
Do you like the Patriots or something?
It's too early to judge, Joe Judge, but sorry for the pun, but this seems I also picked the Baltimore Ravens. That means, yes, we have a second double whammy, another clean sweep, double whammy, a DeHaan curse, and a clean sweep.
Double whammy.
It's not looking good for us.
Tim acts like a little dumb over there. After calling me out during the opening credits of this show for me trying to bring energy and fun, I'm going to just use
I don't know if you'd call that energy.
I'm going to use this. If you're looking for a cool English sport to watch, Premiership Rugby is far better than Premier League Soccer.
Shut up, Will.
Got to make that known.
You'd say that.
You want to join our team.
Hey,
Be
let's
quiet.
go.
The 2 teams I'm not talking about, Northwestern, Nebraska. Sorry. They are bad this year. No offense to them, but they're pretty bad.
All right, Jared, the Illinois boy, DeHaan. I wonder who you're going to pick.
I wonder who I'm going to pick. Of course I'm going to go with Illinois, but this is not based off bias. This is based off just straight facts.
Oh, yeah, straight facts.
This time it's facts. If you look at
Put
Michigan,
that on a t-shirt.
they have...
I mean, to back that up, though, like, I'm even on the site, and there's, like, no information. There's, like, maybe...
Who cares about the Pro Bowl? The answer is no one.
Like, it says, okay, it's the Camping World Stadium, and it has the time.
Yeah,
but,
just in
like,
case you needed to buy tickets for this game that no one will attend.
Sunday, the Pro Bowl tickets are all
So
on
the
sale,
last
none
5
sold.
games that the NFC has played, they've won 4. So they are on a streak to a certain extent.
Oh God! Don't put Lowry in the All-Star.
Oh, Kyle Lowry's totally an all.
It's a tragedy
he
in the
has been
league that he's a
performing
5-time All-Star. It's pathetic.
No,
Kyle Lowry's a good
that's a bad take.
It's a
I'm
pathetic
sorry.
state on the Eastern Conference.
Kyle Lowry is like the definition of what you want in a floor general. He's not going to wow you with stats.
He's
but he makes
trash.
his team so much better. That's ridiculous, Marco.
He's trash.
That's ridiculous.
In the left corner, we have Will Byerman, and in the right corner, we have
Marko
Jurkovic.
Jurkovic, the Croatian sensation.
You know it. Well, I'm just not a huge fan of Kyle Lowry. Who do you guys think Will is currently showing us pictures of?
I'll just say there's some wild Sam Cassell pictures out there on the internet, people.
I was going to say Sam Cassell, former
stop
Timberwolf,
looking.
former Timberwolf and Celtic. Just go ahead and Google Sam Cassell. There's some weird pictures out there. But with that, let's try and
Don't do that.
let's try and get into our Super Bowl preview.
Jimmy Garoppolo has been entirely underrated. I'm not saying he's elite.
Thank you.
Tim. I'm not saying he's...
Tim has
elite
taken off his
star.
headphones. He's leaving the room.
Tim's doing some weird dramatic Tim stuff. And the most shocking moment of all, Paul Hires, lifelong Chiefs fan, was seen smiling, mind you, after the game.
Wow, that is almost a Belichickian level of sighting there.
He has more kids than playoff games, which normally would be terrible, but for Phillip Rivers, it's entirely reasonable, to be honest. But
all right. Well, with that, we're going to move into a brand new mini segment in the show. It's some soccer time with Joseph Rena. So, Joseph, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Excuse me. It's been a long time.
Joseph, come on. You gotta get on the microphone. What are you doing?
Here. I'm new
Joseph Rena, not a broadcast professional like the rest of the crew.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not. Far from it.
Mo Williams, Drew Gooden.
Zildrunas, Ilgus, Ilgaskis.
Shout out to one of your
I don't
one
even
of them
know.
East European boys like yourself. I think it's Zyandris Ilyakis, something like that.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that sounds
Zildrunas
right.
Ilgauskis. I think I got that last one right.
Dante DiVincenzo's there, and he's the best DiVincenzo in the league.
That's another great point. Something I cannot even argue you on.
And then for some reason, somebody put Nebraska in. I'm sorry, but at 7-20, I don't think that's going to be enough to get them in.
You know what? You can get
Maybe
the
next
automatic
year.
bid. You got to win the conference tournament. Get the automatic bid. There is still hope for the Cornhusker fans out there.
Shining moment, baby.
12
That's all it
straight
takes.
losses. We haven't won since, I don't even know when the last time we won it was, when we were on break. You never say never. Probably not going to happen. Sorry, folks.
So I just got to go with Boston, my Boston boys, over Tampa Bay. So yeah, that's the pick I'm going to make there.
Wow, he went with Celtics and Bruins in the same week. Surprise, surprise.
If we had a Red Sox game, we could play Marco Bingo.
Yeah,
Or the Patriots.
you know what? I'm just going to pick all of the Boston teams because, that's just the way to go with it.
Yeah, they don't have an XFL team.
I wish they did, but I don't think they need it. Paul Hires, his win percentage is 66.6.
Oh,
Two-thirds.
God. Father O'Malley warned me about these people. Well, first of all, shout out to Joseph Rena, who is also on this show. Hope I didn't butcher that. You got it. Thank you. All right. Shout out, man. You forgot to mention him. First of all, I'll give a little shout out to my man Tim here.
Shout out to Jared and Will for going 5-0 last week. Shout out to Will.
Shout out to Tim.
Tim went 14-2. So shout out to him there.
Paul with the deep stats. Shout out. High five, bro. Big fan of the podcast. Sully Stavnik. Shout out. But
Put that in the compilation. Shout out to the Blue Jays.
my boy, Dougie McBuckets. Shout out.
I
Shout
see
out
them.
to Mitch Ballack.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him
And
make.
Tyshawn Alexander. Give some love to both.
Shout out if you remember Gregory Ichinike. No, but
0-0, baby.
Shout out to superfan John S. for that quote.
Shout out to James Palmer Jr., who is on the roster for the Los Angeles Clippers.
James White, Danny Woodhead. Shout out. Rex Burkhead. Shout out to our boy. And Peyton Manning. God bless him. Shout out.
Quick shout out to the Green Bay Packers.
I'll give a little shout out to Aaron Rodgers for what he's doing.
Shout out to Aaron Jones. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. You've gotten me the fantasy finals.
Shout out to Charlie Brewer. And just the whole Baylor Bears program. They've really turned stuff around. Shout out to Kemba for finally getting his first win over LeBron.
he was 0-28 against LeBron. Actually had
Shout
a
out to
timer
Shakira.
going.
Shout out to Zach Collins. Shout out to Rugby A. Quick shout out to CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. Shout out to Jeffrey Okuda. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill for playing some legitimately impressive football. Shout out to Marco.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great top 10.
Shout out to Ryan
Eliminated.
Tannehill.
Shout out to Ryan Tannehill. We are in the age of Tannehill now.
Quick shout out to Bam Adebayo.
A guy like Darius Slade to just be like, shout out, by the way.
Shout out to
Against
Kyle
Garoppolo.
Juszczyk, best fullback in the league.
Fullbacks get it done, baby.
Shout out to Red Grange or somebody else.
Shout out to my guy, Gorgie Jang. First, I'd like to shout out a Milwaukee guy, Pat Connaughton, for being perhaps the most out-of-nowhere candidate for the dunk contest we've ever
Got
seen.
hop.
So shout out to the Marquette listeners, actually.
Shout out quick to Steven Adams. Shout out to one of
Oof.
your
I don't
one
even
of them
know.
East European boys like yourself.
Shout out to rugby.
And for my non-QB, I have Travis Etienne from Clemson.
All right. Thank you, Jared, who was joining us. He just had to show his sheep at the Missouri State Fair. So thank you so much for making it to the show in time. Now over to Paul, who's just now breaking his vow of silence from the entire week from last episode to this episode. Paul, who do you have as your Heisman contenders right now?
First of all, I honestly can't believe we have 2 Pac-12 games in our pick'ems for the week.
First time ever, and probably only time
I
ever.
would have never thought that we would have 2 games from the Pac-12.
Pac-12
But in this,
after dark.
true. That's probably best when most people are asleep. They don't need to stay up for it.
645 shots fired in my location.
I got Utah easily in this.
But I guess I'll go with the Utes. Let's just move on from this to some real matchups. We've got number 16 Michigan at number 7 Penn State Saturday, 6:30 on ABC. Will, who do you have in that real football game?
You know how I feel about Michigan. My feelings about Michigan are well known. Notre Dame. Again, after that Michigan loss, we know how I feel about Michigan.
In short, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. My man scoring 6 touchdowns last week with 429 passing yards. He is a bad man.
That wasn't
and I gotta
short.
tell you,
That was not short at all.
He is gonna show
He's still going.
up on Sunday
All right,
Night
Jared,
Football. Prime time,
Jared.
baby.
All right,
He
let's wrap
is
it up.
going
All
to
right,
kick
Jared,
some
your
butt.
pick. Jared, your pick.
Gross matchup.
Yeah.
Gross teams.
Yeah.
What a gross college football game, Marco.
Slugfest. Not necessarily a game you need to watch, because the box score will even look pretty boring.
Oh, gross. Apparently, Kitchen's always just had more of a fun uncle vibe. And, I mean, he just isn't really inspiring and leading them the way they wanted him to.
Hey, I like my fun uncle.
All right, good for you, man.
We all know what the Ravens did to the Patriots, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
Your common opponents thing falls apart when you don't realize that the Ravens are a completely different team now.
A completely unbiased look by our Marko Jurkovic.
Wearing a Red Sox cap.
Hey, man.
I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. Which is, let's give Tom Brady the benefit of the doubt. Instead, Tom Brady's
Oh,
going to have a
God.
great game.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Jared, how dare you?
The Chiefs were able to overcome the Patriots, so I have to put them over New England right now.
That's bullshit.
All right.
Jared, 40-28. He won 2 NFL games last week.
Yeah, I went against you guys in all of them, and we all, at least all tied, but I got those 2 wins.
Kudos to you, Jared.
USA, USA, USA.
There are times in this pick'ems where one of us is the only one to pick a team, and everyone else picks the other team. Will has never done that. Jared, on the other hand, has done that 9 times and is 3-6 in those 9 times.
Hey, you got to risk it to get the biscuit.
So
Just risk it because you've been in last all year.
Well, I at least got 2 of the wins last week, so.
All right, with that, let's get this train back on the rails.
Chargers tight end Antonio Brown has retired after a multi-Pro Bowl career. Your guys' thoughts on his career overall?
Yeah, Antonio Gates had an amazing career. When he came out,
I meant Antonio Gates.
he came out of college.
My bad.
He came out of college.
I wish Antonio Brown would retire.
Let's bring that sound up. Double whammy,
Double
guys.
whammy.
Double whammy. Hey, it's the first
whammy.
week of school, guys. Give Marco a break.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So Chad Johnson,
Oh my
The former-
god.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho
Let's be
Cinco.
professional
To
here.
give some
His
give
name
some
is Ocho
respect.
Cinco.
Ocho Cinco.
he's trying out for the XFL as a kicker. All right, Jared.
I'm going to go with Titans.
Why do you gotta do me like that, Jared? Come on. Titans? Really?
Disrespectful.
Okay, I have a bet.
Philip Rivers has officially moved out of San Diego, and his family's-
I mean, I hope he's moved out of San Diego.
He had like a ridiculous, like gigantic limousine Hummer, and he commuted from San
Are you
Diego
serious?
to LA every day. He had a driver. He'd just sit there in the back in his like mobile command center doing like studying plays and stuff. He did that every
He
day.
probably had a hot tub back there.
Practicing trash talk.
I mean, it'd be really hard to move like
He's surprisingly good at it.
he doesn't cuss either. It's weird. I get why he's staying in San Diego. It'd be really hard to move 9 kids up to LA. That's nuts. In conclusion, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood should be the best picture at this year's Academy Awards.
And Will, I think you're totally right on that one. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is by far the best film. It's amazing that Quentin Tarantino, as the visionary filmmaker that he is, transforms you back into 1969 Hollywood. It's just so much fun.
Incredible performances from DiCaprio and Brad Pitt.
better
What
win
a
Best
star
Supporting
duo.
Actor.
What a star
Really
duo.
good.
I'm not saying Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's going to be important, though, to see how Joe Staley, Kyle Juszczyk, Caleb McGarry, Mitch McGarry, Mike McGlinchey, one of those, like...
There you go. Third time's the charm.
There was three...
He was gonna get to it.
There was 3 of those, like... There was 3 Mick left tackles drafted in the first round of the last 3 years. It's a lot, man. Come on now.
Jared is not with us, as you've probably figured out by the lack of sheep puns and things of that nature.
Cheap noises.
And Illinois references, obscure Illinois references. Shout out to Red Grange or somebody else.
Kofi Coburn.
So
I want to trust Jared, but I also feel like Kansas can go...
said no one ever.
Kansas can go... I'll say it.
Hey,
I'll say it anytime.
He's my sheep guy. I definitely trust him.
I trust,
Fair enough.
I trust Jared DeHaan on all matters in life. All matters in life. He's my life coach, basically. Back to basketball. Kansas can go punch for punch. I repeat, punch for punch, chair for chair, with any team in the country. This team, I think they're going to punch out Tech too. That all happened, by the way. I didn't make any of that up. That's what happened.
Jared refused to talk about that on the podcast yesterday. If your only source of sports news is this podcast, yeah, Kansas and Kansas State got into a brawl that kind
kind of got messy, if you want to say that. So let's move into more kind of the non-sports section.
Because your boys love theatrics on this podcast.
Right, we do. Anybody have any favorite commercials?
Oh, yeah. I think Snickers did a really good job with their campaign.
There weren't any huge failures this year. It was kind of like the
Speaking of
Super Bowl
huge
itself, pretty clean.
failures, you guys want to talk about the halftime show?
Oh, that was not a huge failure, Marco.
No, I thought it was pretty good. It was
Marco,
pretty good. Yeah.
Excellent. It
Yeah.
was excellent, Marco.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Latin pop,
Marco, hips don't lie.
Why do you need so many backup dancers? Why do you need 50 or 60
I don't want to see backup dancers, man. I want to see Shakira and J-Lo. Come on.
It's okay if you have a few, but 50 or 60 is too many. I'm sorry.
This is the third week in a row we've had to talk about how underrated Middleton is while Marco sits over there in his chair
Drinking Aquafina water as if he's prestigious.
No one who drinks Aquafina water is prestigious. Drink Fiji. Drink Fiji. Moving on.
Will, you're picking this dunk competition?
As a 3-time dunker myself, I first find it...
Yeah, right.
Paul's seen it. I first find it imperative.
Paul's
seen it one time. He wasn't at Genesis, man. You weren't at Genesis when I dunked in-game. I'll text my trainer later.
Was there defense playing?
Yes, there was. Now, back to it. Their center's Ivica Zubac, a player I'm a fan of, but he doesn't necessarily... I might have mangled that. Marco is our resident Slavic accent expert, so I might have butchered that a bit, but...
All right, so I'm going with Kentucky. I have absolutely zero reasoning for this. Just feeling it. Let's go with Kentucky. Tim, who'd you get when you flipped a coin for this one?
AFC was heads. NFC was tails. It was heads.
That's AFC for you coin-challenged people out there.
SportsCenter on Snapchat is a fantastic aid. They love to hype up the Nuggets, so I'll be going with them.
Tim, who do you have in this one?
So I flipped a coin, and I'm going to go with Liverpool. Thank goodness the coin landed heads, because Liverpool is the better team. I know.
All right, so a spiteful Packers pick from Will Byerman, and of course, the Dahan curse dragging it along as well. That means I have to go with the Vikings. All right, Paul, your pick?
For lack of knowing how to evaluate a dunk contest, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that Derrick Jones Jr. had the best dunk I've ever seen last season. I know it was in garbage time, but there's no defense in a dunk competition, so I'm going to go with him.
Great analysis there, Paul. No defense in a dunk competition.
I don't know a whole lot about college basketball. I have seen them play at least once or twice, and they just seem to be good all around the park and or all around the
court. I believe they play on a court.
I'm sorry. It's the soccer. Yeah, the pitch. But
it's like Jared picking an NFL game.
But
Jared has the Buffalo Bills as well. So he's got no notes on that one. I'm just going to assume, based on the way he picks NFL games, completely random. All right, Jared, who do you have?
I don't know again.
All right, Jared, who do you have in this matchup?
I'm just going to continue the trend of this entire episode where I'm picking against you guys in everything.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go with the Steelers. I don't really have a reason for it. I'm going to go with Man United. And you know what? Just because.
All right, Jared.
I'm just proud that the 2 Illinois players in the NBA are both starting right now at the Miami Heat. They have played tremendous this year. Yes, Myers Leonard and Kendrick Nunn, the only 2 players in the NBA, play for the Miami Heat. And for that reason, I'm going with the Heat.
As always, weird Illinois-based logic from our weird Illinois-based friend.
All right, Jared, who do you have?
You know how much I don't care about NFL in the first place. And you guys have gone with AFC, so let's just flip it around. I'm going to go with NFC. No reason at all. I won't be watching it. There probably will be college basketball.
Neither will anyone else.
Let's go with NFC.
All right, Jared.
Again, NBA is not my strong suit. I usually just follow.
What is, Jared? What is your
2-0
strong
though.
suit?
I'm not even sure anymore. 2-0. So I'm just going to go the opposite with you guys. Going with Houston. I'll be watching the Michigan State game at 2:30 on Sunday. So let's go with the Rockets.
Oh, boy. Jared says Shakira plus J-Lo, parentheses Chiefs.
Hips don't lie, Marco.
I don't know what
Hips
that means.
Don't lie.
But Jared's going with the Chiefs.
He's more interested in the halftime.
Yeah, I was talking to him today. He said he's more interested in the halftime show than the game.
Jared is,
and we openly shunned him in public because he deserved it.
Jared, he is a lover of, He enjoys Latin dance music a lot.
Yeah.
Loves EDM.
He called Shakira the queen of Latin pop today.
Hey, man. Hips don't lie. That
Will, do you have a pick for the game, by the way?
I don't know. I'm starting to agree with Jared, honestly. No.
So Jared agrees with Paul. He's going to go with the St. Louis Battlehawks. No reasoning behind that one. So Jared's going with the Jazz there. His reasoning, I like Latin pop. I think Jazz is pretty close to that. I'll go with Utah. Wait, what does the Jazz have to do with Utah again? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jared DeHaan.
I haven't watched an NBA game all season.
Thank you for being honest.
I don't know anything about it besides the 10 teams you guys always do every week or every other week. However it is, let's just go with the Clippers this week.
Jared, who's your pick?
Again, I don't watch NBA. It's at the Celtics. Let's go with Boston.
Solid reasoning. All right, Jared, your pick?
Again, the only time I've ever really watched XFL is when I go into my room and then my roommate's just on our futon watching XFL for no reason at all. I like TikTok when I think of Renegades. I think of, the dance. So we're going to go with the Renegades in this one.
That is the most convoluted pick of all time. And of course, it comes from Jared DeHaan. Will, can you bring some sense to this discussion? All right, Jared.
Let's just say Tampa Bay Lightning never let me down when I played NHL on my Xbox. And I don't think they're going to let me down today. So we're going with Tampa Bay in this one.
Another sound, logical pick from Jared DeHaan. All right, Jared the contrarian.
I'm going to go against you guys.
Wow. All right, Jared, your pick.
Again, I just don't know much about NBA. I don't follow it at all. What I do know is that Antetokounmpo is really great, but I think LeBron James is greater. I'm going with the Lakers.
Who's LeBron James?
He's just some guy. He's...
All right, Jared, your pick.
Again, why are we picking 3 NBA games? And they all either have the Lakers or the Clippers. I could care less about the Lakers or the Clippers or anything going on in LA. But in this case, LeBron James all the way, I'm going with Lakers.
This time, Jared picking LeBron James and the Lakers.
For voicing your objections, I'd like to just object to the Lakers as a franchise. Not a fan at all.
Will Byerman.
Shout out to Rugby, eh?
Will Byerman.
Nick Foles in the streets, Gardner Minshew in the sheets, eh?
Will Byerman.
Hey, if they won't sing shallow with you, they ain't your real friends, eh?
And Tim Seipel.
What's groovin'?
Will Byerman.
Hey, bring that sex appeal, you know what I mean?
I really don't. Will Byerman.
I'm not wearing a shirt, but you can't tell that, eh?
Will Byerman.
So we look at the fan mailbag and we see John S. says bowling is for the poor. Well, interesting take, man, eh?
And Tim Seipel.
What's groovin'?
Will Byerman.
I think Tim Seipel got the plague or something, eh?
Will Byerman.
Jared DeHaan is my Lionel Messi, eh?
And Tim Seipel.
I guess I'm back. Did not enjoy that.
Back from the dead.
Back from the plague. Will Byerman.
Make peace with your gods. Stay woke, y'all. Lock your doors. Hide your children. Seipel plague is back. It's worse this time.
Will Byerman.
Now with 20% more ginger on this show, eh?
Will Byerman.
About to move out to Nevada. Give me a slice of that plastic surgery money.
And the always enigmatic Tim Seipel.
I feel like that's getting weirder every single week.
The lad from down under, Will Byerman.
What's groovin'?
And the always enigmatic Tim Seipel.
What the heck?
Will Byerman.
Jared and Marco are too short to go on most roller coasters, eh?
Will Byerman.
Merry Christmas from down under, yo.
Will Byerman.
I'm the only one who picked Clemson, eh? It's pretty money.
Will Byerman.
Sometimes you just gotta get Mac Daddy with it, eh?
All right. And also the enigmatic Tim Seipel.
Jeez, can I just start talking first next time? Because every time he talks, something comes out, it's stupid.
Hey guys, it's Will Byron. Proud to announce that we are now up to 40% rugby participation for the podcast crew.
Let's go.
You're next, Jared. Hey guys, it's Will Byerman. You know what me and JJ Redick have in common besides a sweet 3-point shot? Both love Mumford & Sons. It's crazy.
Wow, really brings the world together.
And I'm Will Byerman, as always, repping the rugby. I'm Will Byerman, and I will be boycotting the XFL until they sign Chad Ochocinco. # free Ochocinco. I'm Will Byerman, and we've got some banging rugby action for you today, eh? I'm Will Byerman, the Kyle Korver of Cup Pong.
Oh boy, here we go. Get out your sports books because I'm picking the Ravens. That means Go put money on the Texans.
Yeah, clean sweep and DeHaan curse. That's not
It's a
good
double
at all.
whammy.
Double whammy.
Pull out of your mortgage, put all of your savings on the Texans this week. You will become a multi-millionaire.
I will give you a high interest loan.
All right, our last matchup of the episode, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Rams, Monday, 7:15 on ESPN. Rec soccer superstar Jared DeHaan is going with the Chargers.
Also, I just want to let the viewers know that the second that Mr. Jared DeHaan, found out that the hot take was an NBA topic, the surprise hot take, Jared DeHaan got out of his seat and walked away from the microphone. Jared.
The only thing I have to say about
Come on, Jared, hold it. You know what? This is
Keep
what
it
happens.
professional, guys.
Jared just
Very
does
sorry.
it. This is what happens. Jared gets
This is what
flustered by
happens-
professional sports.
This is what happens when NBA is thrown in my face. Like back when they were national relevant, the defense was kind of struggling at times. So
Keep it together, Jared.
it's gonna be interesting to see. It's just gonna be interesting to see. It's just I look like an idiot now.
The Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans, Sunday at noon on CBS. Tim, who do you have in that one?
I don't know about you boys, but I saw a totally different team last week with the Rams than I've seen all season. And if they perform at that level that they did last week, I think the Rams are going to...
Texans and Titans, buddy.
Texans, Titans. My bad. I must have gotten that wrong. Okay, in this one...
So first of all, Tim said it a bit earlier when he was trying to talk about the Texans and Titans.
There's
But-
something wrong with the script.
Damn it, Tim.
I didn't
There's
see the
nothing
game
wrong with
earlier.
the
That's my
script.
bad.
No, the Rams.
It's definitely you, Tim.
The
Yeah,
Rams
yeah,
have
sure.
more.
Tim, who do you got?
So in this game, which I believe is the Bills and Steelers, right? Just want to make sure it's the
Yep,
Bills
double
and
checking.
Steelers.
That is the
Just
Bills,
double checking.
the Bills of Buffalo and the Steelers of Pittsburgh.
Okay, perfect.
No, if the Bills were a bunch of ducks, then I'd be really worried about the Steelers, because they got. I mean, that's their quarterback's the state duck call champion. That's ridiculous. That's the most like. It's like the most Mississippi college football thing ever.
I think Garoppolo is gonna have a great game. I think San Francisco wins this.
Yeah, you made everyone very confident in their picks now, Jared.
Oh goodness.
You know what? I know you have been trying to like bait me into doing this by throwing your you've never picked a team that everyone else thinks is
Keep
gonna
it professional, Will.
shut the up, Tim. Are you kidding me? No, I'll take the Rams. You've got me good and mad, and I'll take the Rams because I know even if I pick the Rams and they lose, I'll be just fine. I'll take the Rams.
Wow, Will, you're really sounding like Howard Beale's character in Network. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Stop using that quote, John.
Shout out to superfan John S. for that quote.
Right now, with Harry Kane being out and Son Heung-min being out, I think they could get the win.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
All right, Will.
All right, bruv. So right off the bat, my boys down at Spurs going to take it North London style. Just all about that football over in my neck of the woods in England. But Tottenham, they're going to be in top form even without Son and even without Kane. Look for Ndombele and Lo Celso to help pull this win off. I believe in the Spurs.
Joseph, how is his pronunciations on those names?
The only one I'd fix would be Lo Celso.
Also, is anyone going to tell him that they're both from North London? Is anyone going to let him? Okay. Well, I'm
Does
going
anyone care, Marco?
I mean-
This is America.
to... Okay. Chelsea's had a lot better form, but rolling the dice, I should say.
It's
on that
football,
pick.
so we say form.
Better form. I'm Will Byam, and this is my British accent. All right. Now back to some American sports.
I don't know.
The
Not-
XFL's
Why don't we just give two players swords and see them duel out?
Admittedly,
Winner.
Terrible
not an
idea.
XFL.
terrible.
Whoever's
idea.
dead
but-
is the loser, and whoever's not dead is the winner.
I don't
I'd
think
like to see
that's
you
the
do that, Tim.
brand.
Dude,
yeah.
that would be
Tim with
so
one of
cool.
his more lunatic ideas ever.
XFL.
This is why we shut his mic off half the time.
Yeah,
No, but not
you
an
know
XFL.
the audience probably hears a lot of the things he says and thinks he's crazy, but we mute a lot of the things he says, and you're welcome, audience.
Year's
Maybe
production.
Zeke-
Hold on.
No, no.
Because of
No,
previous year's
Dalvin
production.
Cook is just now
Dalvin
really
Cook's-
hitting his stride.
right, I know,
Dalvin
I'm
Cook
saying-
Fred
I'm
McCaffrey
saying
had
Dalvin Cook
2,000
should be
yards
there.
already. He has
I'm
2,000
saying
yards
that-
already.
I'm saying well as
Okay, but he's still-
You can
He's
better
way
argument
better.
for his consistency.
I have him on my fantasy team, and he doesn't.
Wow,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Fantasy points.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Justin Simmons from the Broncos.
What?
I
Not
know
a
this-
Packer?
I know this might sound a little crazy. I mean, I could have gone with Zadarius Smith. He leads the league in QB hits, but that's neither here nor there.
Wow.
He has to face the Chiefs twice.
Hey, dude.
They have to face the Bills. They have to face the Bills.
That's 2 games out of the whole
well,
schedule,
I'm talking
Tim.
about the
Courtney
whole
has to face
29.5.
Josh Rosen or Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's pretty terrifying,
Yeah,
dude.
I bet that Sam
And
Darnold seeing ghosts.
the Jets are always taking off.
Dude,
Darnold's
for sure.
to back Tim up a bit here. And then,
Wow, that's a surprise.
McCourty, he is
that a
playing on a defense that
Paul, can we
gives
go
him
over
a
the
lot more
stats and
help
see if
than
that's
Broncos.
the first time Will's backed me
Shut
up?
the up, Tim. This is the last time I'll help you out.
Fired at my location.
Tom
Working
Brady
accounting
going
for
to
a
the
year.
Chargers is
No.
like LeBron James going to the Lakers.
No,
We didn't.
No,
you're
not even
comparing
close.
the Lakers
Not
to
even
the
close.
Chargers?
We could not- no,
even
hold on.
What?
close. Are
No.
you kidding me?
In the way that we did not see it coming at all.
It was
We all
so
saw it coming.
telegraphed.
No,
We
no, no.
all saw
It was so
coming.
The
telegraphed.
season
You knew,
before.
Tim.
Tim,
The
you're an
season before.
imbecile.
The season before, did you expect LeBron
No,
James?
but now
No,
it-
exactly. No,
didn't happen.
no, you did. It
Because we
happened.
talked about
That's
it.
my point.
Really fast.
That's my
really
point.
fast.
As
He's
a
going to be
freaking-
43, Tim.
He can play
Chargers are
till
not a good
50.
spot for any player at any position. And going back to last year,
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
I totally think that's a very plausible one.
No,
And,
no,
I
no,
think-
no,
I think
no,
Is Jalen Hurts a first-round quarterback?
absolutely not.
no.
This conversation has been thoroughly derailed. So with that, let's move on.
Because
to,
of you.
I would beg to differ. Let's complain about the Pro Bowl. All right, that's all.